Hello and welcome to this video explaining Logos 10 Mobile, specifically the free version, and just a demonstration of what the free version features have to offer. Specifically today, I want to look at the prayers feature. Prayers feature is a really neat component of what you can do on Logos and a helpful way of keeping track of your prayers and keeping track of who you need to pray for, prayer requests, when you're going to pray, how frequently, and that sort of thing. I wanted to start by reading a passage in Philippians 1:9, 10 through 11. And it is my prayer that your love may abound more and more with knowledge and all discernment, so that you may approve what is excellent, and so be pure and blameless for the day of Christ, filled with the fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ, to the glory and praise of God. Just a really encouraging passage. And perhaps I want to be reminding myself to pray this very passage and this truth. Pray that their love would abound more and more. Maybe I want to pray for that for my small group. And I want to pray that perhaps they meet on Wednesday. I want to pray that every Tuesday. And I want to get a reminder to do so. The way I can do that is go to More on the bottom right there. If you scroll down, I guess it's the second category down in Documents. You have passage lists, you have clippings, and then you have prayers. If you go to prayers, this is the section where you can add a prayer list. And I could add the prayer list title and say small group prayers, small group requests. Add. So now I have a private list called small group requests. And within this, I want to add a prayer titled Pray for All the Group. And in that, I could type Philippians 1:9 through 11. Say, pray Philippians 1:9 through 11 for each group member. And maybe I want to have that scheduled so that I'm reminded of that every week on a Tuesday. And then how long do I want that to go on for? I only need that to go on until the end of our small group, which goes until September, but I want to keep praying that for another month after that. So maybe I go through October. And then I go back to new prayers, hit add, and now this Pray for All the Group is going to show up in my today's prayers because today is Tuesday. So now I go into today's prayers and I can tap on it specifically to see, I'm praying Philippians 1:9 through 11 for each group member. I open up my passage, I read it, I pray that for them. And then once I've done that, I tap check that it's been prayed for. And now today's prayers doesn't have a notification icon anymore. But maybe perhaps one evening someone does share a prayer request, and we'll do a made-up prayer request today, but Tony's knee surgery, and that's a prayer request, and I want to be reminded to pray for that specifically on repeat daily starting on Thursday, which is when his surgery is. And I will hit add, and then I can be praying for Tony's knee surgery. It'll pop up in today's prayers starting on Thursday when he has his surgery. And then when I do look at that, there's the opportunity to say answer and fill in the answer to that prayer. So say it's next week and Tony shares the knee surgery went great, was able to share the gospel with the doctor. And now I can put that away, and it's going to show up as an answered prayer request. And it's not going to be popping up every week anymore. But that might be a good opportunity to add another prayer that says, pray for Tony's doctor. Maybe I just want to add that in and just have that be a monthly thing that pops up on the 18th day of the month, just as a reminder to be praying for Tony's doctor, that he would be responding to the gospel that he heard. So there's just an example of how you can use the Logos prayer feature. You can have as many prayer lists as you want. One way that I personally use it is within these different categories. I'll have different categories for different groups. I will have the prayer request be the person's name, and then within that name, I'll actually keep track of the dates that someone's prayer request came in, and then have the request listed there, and then a request listed there. That way, as I hear someone sharing their prayer request, I can then open up all of the prayer requests that they've shared over the last however many days it's been. And then I can ask and follow up and see how that's been going. And that way I'm praying for a specific person on a specific day. So I can be setting this to be, I'm going to pray for this person weekly, and I'm going to pray for them on Fridays, for example. And that way it's just default that I'm praying for that specific person at that time. So that's just a little bit of how I use the prayer feature and the prayer list within Logos. Really helpful tool. And I love being able to keep my Bible reading close to my prayer. These are things that should be closely connected. As we read God's word and we're hearing from him, we then pray to him and he hears from us. So it makes sense that anything that we have that would be a help or a tool that we would use in organizing our requests to the Lord and keeping track of those would be in the same place and close by where we're going to be doing that Bible reading and that hearing from the Lord. So anyways, I hope this was helpful and that you find this tool useful and that it helps your own prayer life. Thanks.